So basically, looks like he's got a fairly strong auto attack, which is the 2-hit melee attack. He has 2 gap closers, which can be used either as obviously gap closers and or like escaping, things like that. You can really go both ways, so a lot of utility with those. It looks like those are kind of smaller cooldowns, 10 and 12 seconds, not too bad.
Yeah.
And then he has Glory or 4 Glory, which is kind of a combo move where you get 3 hits in. And Retribution is another kind of like pick him up, slam him down kind of thing. So you can really, with Spartacus, it looks like his focus is to really get in there deep, find the weakest link, like their healer, their support, their back line, and then just put them against a wall and just give it to them.
Exactly.
So is that kind of the vibe that you want to get when you're playing Spartacus?
For the most part, yeah. Generally, you want to have him take out the squishiest warriors on the opposite team.
Right.
As well as being not necessarily the front man of each and every skirmish, but he's definitely one of the main damage dealers, right? So again, he's good to have virtually in any team composition.
Okay.
Thus far. So I'm just gonna leave that ambiguous.
All right. So we have a Fire Catapult, which is his first buildable, is number 1. And it's basically a catapult which launches projectiles which apparently it says is good for clearing other buildables. So you kind of want to set this up maybe on like the left or the right side of the stage, kind of after you take out those main crystals, and just kind of leave it there and let it just shoot at your opponent's buildables. Or like, do you want to put this like back towards your base? Like, what's kind of the positioning you want to go for when you're using the Fire Catapult?
So what you just mentioned right there, the beauty about this game is that buildables don't necessarily have a like specific role, especially for the Fire Catapult, right?
Okay.
You can actually use it as a nuisance where you would have the Fire Catapult launch to a certain area, and the damage would still linger, right? Like the AoE would still kind of linger there for a couple seconds. I'm not too sure how long, but it still does a decent amount of damage, right? So you kind of want to use that as either a way to clear out buildables or to get positioning against your opponent in terms of like stopping them from getting buffs. Like if you put it on top of the buff, they can't really go near it. Like their melee characters can't contest the buff as well. And you know, if it goes down, it's in your favor. So again, there's a wide variety of uses for the Fire Catapult, but mainly it's used as like a projectile, like an AoE projectile.
Okay.
For the most part.
And then also the ramp, which basically allows you to kind of like stairs, but the opposite. Instead of it ramping you down, it lets you ramp up. So you can like run up to it, shift, and it'll shoot you off, correct?
That is right. So you'll still have access to all your movement, all your skills at the same time. That's what's pretty beneficial about the ramp. The ramp throws you a significant distance away from the starting point. So it's just basically extra maneuverability for your entire team.
So could I potentially put the ramp down, grab the ball, shoot off the ramp with the ball in my hand, and then just keep going from there?
That's correct.
That's pretty good. Good move.
It's pretty good, and it's available. The only thing is, it's not. The ramp is not exclusive to just your team only.
Oh.
So say you have a ramp at your relay point, and you use that mostly just to get further on into the map. But if the other team is in a rut at your relay and they need to escape, they could actually use that ramp as well to back off. So it's not exclusive to one team. It's just a ramp that's there that anybody can use until destroyed.
Got it. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Let's take a quick look at his customization options. So his perks, I believe we went over a little. Oh no, we actually didn't go with perks. Okay. So the perks, his first one, this is Sparta Classic. It resets 4 glories cooldown when knocking an opponent off of the level. So you were talking a little bit about how his combos do a lot of pushback and a lot of knocking around. So if you're actually fortunate enough, or if you're in that position where you can actually knock someone off, it actually resets 4 glories cooldown, which I believe is like 25 seconds.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely a long time. So let's take a quick look. It looks like
12.
No,
that's
what
it
is.
4 glory is 25 seconds.
That's a long cooldown. So getting that reset is like huge.
Crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to have really great positioning as well, right? Depending on the map. El Dorado or Atlantis, you have to really understand where you want to isolate certain opponents. It's kind of tough, but it's very much so doable with the right team comp.
All right, next up at level 3 is Rundown. So striking the opposing team's Relic Runner with no retreat instantly resets its cooldown. Interesting. So basically it allows you to kind of gap close even more. So you hit them with no retweet.
No retweets here.
No retweets. And then you can basically use it immediately again to follow up on that
You could,
assault.
yes.
Right.
Yeah, potentially. So it's just another way of like gap closing. You're just trying to stop the Relic Runner, which is something Spartacus really excels at, being one of the higher mobility characters in the roster with just his kit alone. He may not have like the best, basic movement speed, but he's just such a nuisance all across the map because he's so fast. So having this kind of perk is really, closing the gap. And then just in case they try to escape, you're just trying to deny them any touch of the relic or just destroying their health.
Of course.
You can do either one.
Next up is Into the Fray. So 36 bonus armor for 10 seconds after hitting an opponent with no retreat.
That's actually pretty good. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so basically you can slide in to start a combo, right? Slide in, hit somebody, and then during that entire engagement, you have 36 bonus armor the whole time, that's a lot of armor.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
For
chunk,
solid 10 seconds, that is actually pretty vital.
And I feel like Spartacus is more of that like one-on-one type character that you're trying to single people out. So in that one-on-one type fight, that extra 36 armor might actually be the decision maker between like, especially if it's like a Spartacus and Spartacus type duel. It's like you're gonna have the advantage if you have that bonus armor.
Right. And it's gonna be better for team engagements. If you're trying to isolate somebody, that extra armor, just in case the rest of the team decides to gang up on you, that adds that extra amount of survivability for this character. He may not be like the tankiest or a tank at all, considering his basic stats before equipment. Again, it's a pretty good perk to have if you're the one that's trying to engage for the most part.
And his final one, which is Lion's Rage at level 5, is 30 bonus attack damage for 10 seconds if struck while carrying the relic.
That's
so you kind of have the
pretty
relic.
cool though.
And you're like you're running, you're going or whatever. You go off your ramp. You're like almost in their base. They knock you out of your hands. That's when that team fight engages, like the usual. Oh, they're cutting in our base, attack them. So everyone converges. They're fighting, and right when they knock that out of your hand, you got the 30 bonus AD. Or maybe it's like you're in the middle of a team fight and you literally run and pick up the relic on purpose, so someone will hit you out of your hands, so you get that bonus AD as well, right? So you could even use it as like here, pass it to me, so they can hit it out of my hands, so I can come at them and just like shred. Because with all his combos you were telling me about earlier, it seems like 30 bonus AD could be one of those things that just helps you go from like take out like an Alola. Something like that, like instantly. Just like full combo them with everything and just take them out again.
You're pretty much on the right track there. There's nothing really, anything around that. It's a very straightforward perk. Very good for initiating as well as just ball movement in general. Again, it's something that is really great for team skirmishes. I like the colors, by the way. I really like the red one. It's pretty cool. It's like a USC kind of shout out thing.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, so I guess all that's left is to see if we can get his combos down.
Yeah, let's do it. So
put me in, coach.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go for dash, which is your Q.
Okay.
Basic attack into retribution, and as soon as they land, you press E, which is full glory. So it's Q, left click, left click. You have to press it twice, by the way, because it's a 2-hitting basic attack. And he advances forward as he attacks, so it closes the gap. Yeah, get those bad boys. And again, equipment really adds on to each and every character, depending on how you want to build them.
We can talk about that. So like, what's the best, so when you queue into Spartacus, obviously, I guess there would probably be a couple of different routes you could go. But I feel like probably attack and armor penetration would be huge, as well as cooldown reduction, right? So movement speed might not be as important because of all the mobility he already has.
Yes.
That he doesn't need a ton of movement speed because he can slide so much. But cooldown reduction with his moves being 25 and 30-second cooldowns might end up getting it to the point where he can start forglorying more often other than getting that reset.
Yeah, so on top of the cooldown reductions off of your basic attack, it says right there, hitting enemy players with your primary attack reduces cooldowns by 1 whole second.
Right.
That is if you max out cooldown reduction, right? So already your timers on your skills are already going down little by little, but landing a basic attack is going to knock it down by 1. There's a set amount for each and every character when they land basic attacks. It's like a fraction of a second, but it's still pretty significant. So again, just having those 3 for Spartacus is pretty crucial. You can build them other ways, like in terms of getting buildables down or breaking them down, but I'm looking for the damage and survivability. So those 3 are pretty good. And then on top of that, I would probably go for either the health, depending on who the opposition is, or armor.
Okay.
So that would be my final.
So which characters do you build health and which characters do you build armor against? Like where does that, like do you go for health against like maybe tanks and you go for armor against like the shooters kind of thing, or?
I would go vice versa. For the shooters, I would go for more health because they're the armor shredders, and then for the tanks,
because they build armor pens, so there's no point to stack armor against them because they're just going to shred you anyway.
And the cool thing is when you press the tab button, you get to see the enemy opposition's equipment. So it's in a way like other MOBAs where you could see what the other team is building, so that you could adjust and play off of that.
Got it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and cruise over here. Let's see if I can get my my combos down. So basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be sliding in with Q.
Yeah.
Then we're going to follow it up with...
2 basic attacks.
2 basic guys.
And then,
that right here?
Yeah. And then Retribution, which is the ultimate.
R, and then follow that up with a E for Full Glory, right?
Correct.
All right. We're doing it.
Right, we're going
this. In.
E. Yeah, there. You see the first attack whiff, but they're still recovering into your second attack with full glory.
Okay, I got it. And that almost full killed him.
Yeah.
That was almost 100-0 there.
So that was also considering the equipment you have as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, here, we're gonna try this one more
So
time.
thing to remember, Spartacus has like average health amongst the cast. I don't know the actual number. I had it on a paper, but I couldn't bring it today.
No, it's all good. No worries.
Long story short, he is a balanced character. He does have the damage, but his health isn't necessarily the highest. He could be a glass cannon if you do not build him with health. So
And for
just
the
a little
ramp,
thing to be wary
so
of.
I don't have to slide into the ramp if I don't want to. I can just walk on it and it'll shoot me.
yeah,
Okay, interesting.
as soon as you touch the active boxes of the ramp, yeah, then you're getting launched.
So I can just be like, shoot me.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's really good, right? If you have the
Yeah.
relic, you set that bad boy down wherever you want, and then just get to jump over everybody. I kind of want to see if they put, or if they left something out. Yeah, see how they wake up into it?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
pretty
And
good.
then he's just like, and then at that point he's knocked back, and I already have all my moves back, so I can just like slide straight up into him and take him out.
Yep.
And another interesting fact is
You
this,
could actually, as you kick them for 4 glory, if you don't want to initiate with the Q, then you could kill them off with Q.
got it, yeah, because
Which is no retreat.
Because Q is such a small cooldown that when I run at people with Q, and then I do the full combo, by the time I E and my full E is gone, like my 4 glory is already almost up, and so is my right click, right?
Yeah.
So I have a lot.
They're
of
not
options.
going anywhere.
Yeah,
They're donezo.
They're donezo.
Unless they have really good like dodging skills.
Yeah.
That's literally it. So
Okay, cool. And then one more thing, I guess, which is gold, right?
yes.
We didn't talk about with the Black Knight introduction and all, but like, how important is like how do you pick up gold? What can you pick gold up off of? How important is picking up gold? Things like that. Can you go over that a little bit?
So the importance of gold is that you only acquire it from kills and destroy enemy buildables. That being said, you're not passively getting gold. That's a big deal, right? Because without gold, you're not going to improve your character stats. It's not a game where you would just jump off the map and kill yourself just like that. But no, it's not one of the games where you build gold passively and you level up your character through kills and whatnot. This is literally the only way to win is to get one of the 3 objectives, which is relic to relay, ball to hoop, basically, team wipe, which is killing the opposition before they spawn, and then territorial win, which is having the ball or the relic on the opposite team by the time the clock runs out. That's how you get a win. So again, that being said, you're gonna have to level up your warrior with that gold to build your equipment. As you see Luke destroying the opposition and getting those little bits of gold, you then go back to your base and then purchase more upgrades to your equipment. That's like the only way you could level up your character. Because as you see, there's no experience gauge or anything like that. So getting these kills, the only thing you get out of it is gold, basically. So that's a huge vital role or a vital piece to this game is getting rich and doing it fast.
All right, so we talked about the ramp too a little bit, which is cool because like basically can shoot you, so you can kind of put it in spots where maybe like over here near your base, where that way right when your team, like someone spawns, and they can kind of slide, and then just like ramp shoot like
yeah.
right off there, right?
You definitely can. You can put another one down since you've
Yeah.
training
So
room.
maybe like a ramp like that's like right here.
I
and
generally
then-
put it facing towards the buffs.
Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. Here, let's try that. So like, let's say that I want to put a ramp like.
Yeah.
I want this ramp to go away. Can I
No, you
kill it?
can't. So let's go to the left side and
Oh,
then just
yeah,
place
you're right.
it.
Good call. Oh, that's
Close
not
enough.
fun. Yeah, no, right. All right, so we do something like this. So let's say, we spawn, you slide, you shoot off here.
And then you're already at the buff.
You're literally at the
they're
buff
forced
already,
to
yeah.
contest it, but they might not have a Spartacus
And then-
or anybody smart enough to put a ramp to contest it, right?
And I can do something
and
like
then-
that too, right?
Boom, there you go. Look at that fortress.
Ah.
How they got to choose one over the other while having other
Exactly.
warriors.
And now
in
this
place.
whole area right here where they're going to use to
Yep.
retreat is like covered in catapult. So,
There we go.
all right, that's pretty good.
We learning,
We
boys.
learned. Now we know how to play. Woo!
All right, check it out. I want to see if they have this build or they fix this. This is called the Filthy Rich.
Oh.
Let me, this is called the Filthy Rich. So there was a thing. I don't know if you guys want to put this in the video, but this is pretty cool.
Slide past you. Whoop.
Do all that. So there was a trick where if you jumped on the ramp and mashed your ultimate, it would double the height of where you're launched at. Oh, they left it in there, nerds! So check this out. This is pretty cool. So this is something I had to keep under wraps during TwitchCon. So
They wouldn't let you do it?
they kind of would, but at the same time, they didn't want you to. Yeah, give me that ball. Check it out. So we're going to talk about relic movement anytime soon. Just curious.
Let's do it, yeah.
All right, we'll do
yes,
that. We'll
let's
do
do
that
it right now, dude. Hit me with it.
We'll do it in a little bit. So
Okay.
when you pick up the relic, you lose access to your main abilities, as you see in the bottom part of your screen there.
Okay.
As soon as I touch it, you only have access to 3. Left click being your throw. I'm holding it. I engage in that action right there. And you see a little arc. That's how far the relic's going to be thrown.
Okay.
Boom, shakalaka, throw it. Ooh, I got some sick stuff with this card. And then you see on the right there, or the right click, is your invulnerable dash. Short burst of speed, and as you glow white, you're not allowed to get touched. And you see that E there? You're allowed to pass it to your teammates from a certain distance. You see Thorgrim over there? He's just hanging out. Boom, the E pops up. Whoop!
Relic advancing.
Relic advancing. So we're going to have him pass it back to me. Thank you, sir. That's just like the basic movements with the relic.
The relic, sure, okay.
So something to note is that if you don't have a teammate near you and you press E, you just drop it. You just let it go in place.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
So you put 2 and 2 together, right? So let's just do this real quick. Oh, well, I suck.
It's all right, it's all right.
Let me get some cooldown reduction on this bad boy. I like how he yells out, lunch! He's hungry.
All right, so let's put this together then, shall we?
All right, let's please. Slow motion is kind of hard to deal with, but. Got him!
That is crazy.
That's pretty crucial. If they do not,
you literally just full map scored on them.
yeah, you could do it. The max range from what I tested out with Filthy Rich is here. From where this is. If you manage to launch yourself and hold it to max potential at the peak of your jump, you could score the relic. Yeah. And another cool thing, as we spoke about with Spartacus, he has high mobility. Left click is throw, and then he has 2 dashes, right? So you could do this. That, and then recover it.
Wow.
Yeah, high mobility,
Interesting.
and then throw it again.
So Spartacus is kind of the. Would you say
runner.
like the ideal relic runner then? He's kind of like built, his whole character model is kind of built to be that, like not only can he has all of the mobility and obviously these fun tricks you can do with him, but at the same time it's like if someone knocks it out of his hands, he is literally that, especially with that one trait where if you get knocked out of your hands, you get that extra AD.
Exactly, yeah.
And he's like that, he's also the 1v1 god, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
In reality, he's like completely built to be the guy running around.
Yeah, you don't want to get on his bad side, basically. You knock him down with the relic in hand, he's going to get that extra 30 AD, granted if you choose that perk. And he's definitely going to be the one to brawl it out. So again, you saw it, mentioned earlier, he's got combo ability, decent damage, and he could move the relic from pretty much 3/4 of the screen and score it on the opposite.
That's awesome.
Granted, if they leave that in the final build, I don't know, but I'm just saying this is, that's dubbed the Filthy Rich, one of the guys over at Amazon Game Studios. So.
Cool, all right.
All right.
I'm just over here drinking my Pepsi, dude.
Back.